Hello, Quarantine Tribe. I've just been trying to potty train my 2-year-old, so it's quite a change of pace. Doing that and then coming here. So my name's Anna. If you don't know me, I've popped up quite a bit in Quarantine Tribe. My background is a mindfulness meditation teacher, and I'm also a life coach. And my intention is to steal meditation from the hippies and coaching from the boardroom and to bring it to people like you and me. So to bring it to people who, I'm making an assumption here, but that care about their life, that want to get value for life, that want to be the best that they can be with the opportunities available, and also to be able to deal skillfully with the stuff that life throws at them. So I spent a long time in my early 20s being a bit of a pinball, if that's it, isn't it? Pinball to kind of the stresses that were thrown at me, just reacting and responding and feeling like a hamster in the wheel, like I never really could get a grip of things. I would get caught into cycles of behaving and thinking, and I knew it wasn't serving me, but I just I couldn't step back from it. So the tools that I teach here around mindfulness meditation and life coaching skills are tools that I have used over the last 15 years myself to get myself to a position where on the outside I'm confident and strong, but in the inside I feel that as well. And of course I still have wobbles and I still feel stressed and angry, and however I don't let it rule me so much. I remember reading something about mindfulness meditation years and years back, and it said it won't stop you having arguments and getting pissed off with your partner, and but it will enable you to bounce back quicker, or to be able to recognize the patterns that you're in as well. So just wanted to say also about Quarantine Tribe that we've got the most amazing, I'm really excited about, I'm genuinely really excited about this. We've got a virtual wellbeing festival starting on the 23rd. So please sign up to that and you'll get access to loads of different workshops, and we've got some live music, we've got different talks. So lots of different yogis and therapists and coaches are getting involved in that program. And that's a nice way also, if you're feeling a little bit like your motivation of being stuck at home might be going a little bit. I describe we're kind of out the honeymoon period a little bit now. So shit's getting real, and it's really important, more important than ever, that we're still taking care of ourselves, that we're keeping in a routine, that we're looking after ourselves. So the festival is a great way to create some structure in your day. The teachers will be interactive as well, so they will be saying, asking you bits and bobs, and so you can comment on the sessions. So I would definitely say, if you haven't already, then please sign up to that. If you're watching, you probably have signed up. But it'd be good to see who's here. I've changed onto a new type of Facebook Live, so it's hard to get notifications. But if you're watching, I'm hoping they'll pop up. If you're watching, hashtag QT. So that can either be if you're watching now live with me, or if you're watching down the line later on, maybe you'd like to revisit these sessions. But it's nice to know who's there, and it's nice to get your comments as well. I was talking to another teacher yesterday about being able to get comments in a few days' time and get some feedback is really nice as well. So today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how to cope with difficulty, which I think is quite an apt topic at the moment. And difficulties and challenges are part of life. That's part of what we all experience at some point, is the rocky road. And life isn't necessarily about being as flat line as possible, but actually emotions will come up and difficulties and challenges will arise. And our job isn't to try and live as a mouse and avoid these, it's how we meet these challenges. So we all have somewhere called a physical barometer. So that's somewhere, and I'm putting one hand, let me stand up so you can see. Here, can you see my hands? Somewhere normally between there, somewhere in our bodies will give us a clue that something's not right. When we're not at ease, where we're uncomfortable in some way. So you might notice this, that you might notice your stomach getting a bit tight, or you might notice your chest. I always, before this, it's important for me to be able to deliver a good session for you. So I notice I get some what's called the butterflies in the stomach. And I think that's a good indicator sometimes that things matter for you. So it's not about you getting rid of these feelings here. It's about, can you tune into your feelings here? And what a physical barometer is, or a weather barometer is able to indicate what the weather is. If we start to pay attention to what's happening in our bodies, it's a far better clue for how we are than if we are just stuck in our mind the whole time. I don't know if you've ever had a feeling or a gut instinct about something, and your mind has taken a long time to catch up with your gut, and you think, if only I'd listened to my gut. So one of the things that's really important that we do is we start to tune into how our bodies feel. Now, when I say stress, I don't mean like the big stress, that you've just been told that you don't have a job tomorrow, or, there's massive losses in your life. Or stress can happen to us all through the day. Little stress, a de-stress, anything that makes us feel uncomfortable. And all these times that we feel uncomfortable, they're actually an opportunity for us to practice mindfulness and for us to tune into how our bodies are feeling. So my invitation to you over the course of the next few days is just to pay attention a little bit more. When stuff gets a little bit sticky in your day, where do you notice it? Where do you notice it in your body? Is it that you're noticing that it's straight away to your chest? Some people notice it's in their throat, goes a little bit. It might be a tightening sensation. And the meditation that I'm going to do today is a 3-part meditation where I'm going to spend about 20 minutes guiding you, but this can be done in a minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, as long as you've got. I've also done this on an audio recording, so I'm very happy if you want to just say, tag and go, hey Anna, send me the recording. I can send it over to you and you can have that to help you on the move with this as well. But what I would say is that you start to learn these 3 steps, and this becomes your first stage or toolkit to go to. And you wouldn't start to sew your parachute as you're jumping out the plane. Otherwise, you've got to be really quick at sewing. In the same way, practice learning these skills beforehand. So think about sewing your parachute when you don't need a parachute yet. So how about this practice we're going today becomes something you just weave into your day, and then next time when you really are in trouble, where you need to stress and you're feeling very overwhelmed, then it's your cue that you might do this practice. So a great indicator of when your mind might be feeling overwhelmed is when you start falling into the shoulds, I ought to, very black and white thinking, quite negative thinking, quite aggressive in tone, short sentences. This is all indicators that you might be getting into a more fight or flight mode, which is our natural reaction when we feel something's distressing in our day. We still have that animal instinct into closing up or to wanting to go and fight something. And we don't have the threats of saber-toothed tigers anymore, luckily, but we do have the threats of, Instagram, someone didn't like my post. That person looked at me funny. Someone hasn't texted me back. So these are the things now which are not big stressors, but they can still produce this physiological response. They still produce this response in our body where our physical barometer is. So the meditation we're going to do is a great way of being able to deal with and soothe your physical barometer when you have any distress coming up. So there's 3 parts to it, which I've stuck on the board here. So I'm hoping that you can see. It's quite hard to see what you can see. Let me just open that up. That might work. That's better. So there's 3 parts of this. Can you read it? So the first one is awareness. So becoming aware. That's a better idea. Becoming aware of the difficulty. So that's the first thing that you have to do. Stopping and noticing. So there's a saying, name it to tame it. And a lot of the time, we don't even know we're caught in anger. We're just reacting and responding, and someone says something. So if we can stop and go, name it, this is anger. Oh, this is sadness. Oh, this is, this is old habits. This is ruminating. This is panic. This is whatever you want to name it. Maybe you want to name it after someone and you can name it, this is birth, worry, whatever works for you. But the key thing is that you become aware of it. So you name it, you notice it's there. So that's what we're going to be doing for the first part. And then the second part is to gather our awareness around the breath. So this is a bit like an hourglass. We go from this wider, what's here now in our experiences, and then, okay, let me focus my awareness around my breath. Let me feel my breath. And this gives us a moment to narrow our attention, to drop into our bodies. And then from this narrow awareness, we can then widen the awareness again. So expanding, to take it all in. So the acronym for this to remember is AGE: awareness, gathering, and expanding. And this you can do at any time you want to be able to help you drop anchor and to cope with difficult sensations. But as I've said before, don't wait until the most difficult time in your life. Start practicing it now, which is what we're going to do. Let me just see if a few people are watching. Hello. I don't get notification popping up of who's watching, so sorry if I'm being rude and not saying your names, but I'll chat to you all later. So taking your seat, and what I mean by that is, having your feet flat on the floor is a great place to start. Having your feet hip width apart. Now it's up to you, choosing if you want to have your eyes open or eyes closed. But really, it's whatever you feel most comfortable. And then bringing the awareness internally. So becoming aware of what's here already. If there's a difficulty at the moment, then becoming aware of how that difficulty is feeling in the body. Noticing where that difficulty shows itself. So noticing what emotions are here. Noticing what thoughts are here now. So asking yourself, what's the internal weather pattern like now? What's the weather like inside? Noticing how the body feels. So feeling the feet on the floor. Being conscious of the breath. Feeling the fabric of clothes against the skin. So at this first stage, we're just checking in with what's here now. There's no need to shift or change anything. We're hitting the pause button and seeing what's already here. So awareness. And maybe at this stage, saying to yourself, it's okay. Let me feel this. I can be with this. And the second part is to gather the awareness around the sensations of breathing. So now we're narrowing the focus to rest on what it feels like to breathe today. You might also choose to put a hand on your belly, one on your chest, to help anchor your attention in the breath. And if your mind is very scatty today, you may even want to say, breathing in, breathing out. So if your mind wanders, which it will, which is what minds are trained to do so well, and just noticing where it's gone, maybe a memory, maybe a future plan, daydream, and shepherding it back to this breath. So your job is simply to be present with this one breath. And this one breath. Knowing that there's no need to change the breath in any way. That it's been doing fine until now. See what it's like to sit next to hold, to turn to be with this breath in your body. There's no right or wrong. There's no special experience we're searching for. We're using the breath to help steady the mind, like an anchor. So being aware of where you feel the breath most strongly in the body. Maybe the belly. Maybe you can feel the expansion and contraction in the belly. Maybe it's the chest area. And perhaps you've still got your hand here and you can connect with what it feels like to have your hand touch the skin. And the subtle movements of your hand in the chest area as you breathe. Maybe you can feel the breath most strongly around your nostrils. Slight shifting sensations to breathe in and breathe out. And wherever your mind is, seeing if just for now it can be with this one breath in your body. Expanding your awareness now slightly so you notice where you feel the breath very subtly in the body. So maybe there's a suggestion of the breath in the back, the rib cage moving. Maybe there's movement in the collarbones. Perhaps you can feel the breath down your legs and arms. Then expanding the awareness further so you have a sense of the whole body sat here. And allowing your awareness to rest on how the body feels, the physical sensations in the body. So feeling the feet on the floor and the temperature here. Noticing the bottom on the chair. Checking in with your posture also. Seeing if you can feel the curve of your spine, your wingy shoulder blades. Feeling your head supported on your shoulders. Noticing the temperature of the skin. Seeing where it's hot or cold in the body. So having awareness of the breath moving the body. And also have a sense of the body and the space that the body occupies. All the way from the toes, up the legs, to the crown of the head. And feeling the rhythm of the breath move the body. A natural in and out breath. It brings a slight movement throughout your body. Noticing where your mind is now and bringing it back if it's wandered. Knowing that the wandering mind is not a mistake. In fact, that's where the practice is, in strengthening our attention through bringing it back. So checking in with the face, seeing what's happening in your face, softening the brows slightly, maybe choosing to bring the intention of a smile to the inside of the mouth, to the eyes. So subtle no one else sees it. Noticing what effect in the body it has to just slyly smile. Perhaps noticing that warmth spread from the face down to the heart. And expanding your awareness slightly further so you have a sense of the breath and the body, as well as the space that the body occupies. So becoming aware of the air around the body, the height of the body, conscious of what you're sitting on. So it's like our torch beam. It's gone from narrow beam and the breath to gently widening the beam to take in the breath and body and the space around the body. So stepping out of thinking mind into awareness. And with this awareness, we can hold the thinking mind, as well as holding the emotions, the body sensations, and the breath. Knowing that we're not our thoughts. We have capacity to hold our experiences in this wider lens. With this wider lens, there's a spaciousness, room to move. So if your mind wanders, coming back to this breath, every breath's an opportunity to become present again. Expanding the awareness to hold the body, the posture, the hair, the skin, the clothes, the chair. The bubble of awareness around us. Bubble of awareness can keep us safe. And then you can ask yourself, whilst here, what is it I need to do or not do to take care of myself? What is it I need now? And allowing the answer to come, not necessarily from the thinking mind, but from the body's wisdom, from that little quiet voice in us that hardly gets listened to, but knows how to take care of us. So then allowing the awareness in the wider body and space to shrink slowly back in. So our awareness rests back on the sensations of breathing. So being up close to and present with this breath. And this breath. So seeing if for the last minute or two you can make the intention to be fully present as best you can. One complete breath. And then one more breath. So let's finish with 3 indulgent, greedy breaths in and sighs out. So breathing in through the nose, letting it go with a sigh. You might want to get the body involved now. No need to open your eyes yet. Just stretching the body, breathing in. You can add a roar on the last one if you want. Checking in, noticing how you feel now. Noticing how the mind feels, noticing how the body feels. Noticing what's different to when we started. So you can gently open your eyes and see what it's like to just let the first lights hit. See what colour you see firstly. Maybe the bright red, my background. So thank you for joining me today for that coping breathing space. And if you missed the beginning, what I said was, if this is a really great practice to calm you down when you need to, it's a bit of a lifesaver practice in when you feel that your mind is really busy, your body feels carrying a lot of stress, and it doesn't need to be the big stress, it can just be minor stress. It's a way of grounding you in the now and being able to open up to your experience so you can function from a place that isn't so heady, maybe connecting a little bit with what you intrinsically need to know, your wisdom. Let me know if you want me to send you an audio recording of this, and I'm more than happy to, and this can help you when you're out there in the real world. There's the three parts of it. So the wider awareness, okay, what's going on in my mind and body, then coming to the breath, allowing your awareness to rest on the breath, bringing it back to this breath, before you expand that awareness that we've cultivated, that present moment, non-judgmental, that curious awareness of the breath, to take in the body, to take in the space around the body, the posture, and then you can, at the end, ask yourself, well, what is it you need to do or not do? And you might notice the answers that come up in the end aren't the answers that you would have done automatically if you're in the fight or flight or reactive mode. They might be more in line with the person that you want to be and how you want to act. So, as always, let me know how you found this practice today, and let me know how you get on with applying the three-part coping space. So, enjoy your day. All right. Bye.